What the hell? You don't hear anything? A bit of music. Music's a little too loud anyways. Hopefully that's better. Happy Sunday, everyone. I see a bunch of lovely folks in here today. I see Saurus. Saurus is working on a very incredible little museum. Zoo 8. I see Rick, our boy, Olaf, Cappy. One chuffed frog, Nuno. Hello. Hello, everyone. New Monkey Man. How are we all doing on this lovely Sunday? Are we ready to get into some building? I didn't even want to build today. I don't even know why I started this. It's too late, though. It's too late to turn back. We got stuff to do. You hear nothing at all goes through you. Okay, well, as long as you can hear my voice, that's all I really care about. Doing amazing, Mr. Roblox. That is good. That is quite good. All right. Let's switch over. Oh my god, I keep forgetting that I'm still in the corner. You didn't know it was going to be today? I didn't either. I had a few spare. I had some spare time. Too late, build, Zoo Boy, build. I should. So, in our last live stream, we actually got a little bit done. First of all, are my filters on? My filters are not on. Here's how I get my game to look pretty. I throw down a sharpen filter. It was a little too intense for me. I usually change it to 15. I change texture details to be just a little bit higher. And, I think I'll do just a little bit of brightness and contrast just to, you know, really make the game pop. Should have done all this before. Damn it. Oh well, that looks good for me. So, in our last episode, or last live stream, we did quite a little bit of work. We got started on the little 5. I'm going to pause the game because everyone's being loud. We did the little Buffalo Weaver education. This was so fun. One of my favorite things in this park. We did this little bit of a water area. Just like some natural water just to help build, I don't know, just a little bit more lore, I suppose. I thought it turned out cute. And we did this little antlion education over here. That was fun. I'm going to move my monitors around just so I could actually see you guys talking and so I can be a good host. Oh, well, your volume wasn't on that. That doesn't help, Rick. And over here we have our lion habitat with Joe. Sleepy Joe, the lion. It's just absolutely chilling. But yeah, that's what we did on the live stream. But that night, I don't know what got into me, but I was like, I want to build just a little bit more. And I did a little bit more work off camera. This was super fun, guys. So I have this little bit of a African village kind of hotel area where basically you can rent out like cabins and stuff, little hotels. It was based off of a park in France. I'm gonna look into it for what the actual name of the place is called, but I really love the look of it. They look a lot better from the other side. I didn't want this side to be too decorated, because you wouldn't want to spend all your money over there, you know. But I do have this little area that just shines at nighttime. Once we actually do get it to be nighttime, the fire just lights up this area beautifully. And I don't know, I just really like that stuff. How do I crouch again? How do I crouch? Q and E. Been playing too much Planet Coaster recently. I did a couple tours today. I did a couple tours in Planet Coaster, which was very fun. Those will be out throughout the week. I'm currently in a tech week right now, so I'm exhausted, but I felt good enough to stream today, which was very fun. But on the other side of those cabins, you got these lovely little kind of balconies. And if we turn around, we can see that we have a lot of flamingos. Nuno is absolutely right. There's a lot of flamingos in this enclosure. It's not a good enclosure in theory for these animals. We have to give a huge shout out to Foliage for the idea of this. Basically, it's just one big path that leads them out to this island over here. And we'll decorate that island out later. Probably not. Yeah, it's the famous off-camera mining. Hello, Daweed. So happy to hear that. Oh my gosh, yes. Boot up your planet zoos and let's build together. But yeah, I'm just very happy with this. It was very fun. I considered adding like pelicans in here. Talked to Monsoon about like a pinkback pelican, but I'm just not too interested in it right now. I think just flamingos will be fine. I just want this to be wrapped up. But today, I think we really need to focus on doing one of these enclosures. And I think it will be the elephants, just because this is going to be the biggest habitat in here. And if we can finish this all today, I will be a very, very happy leaf. So, let's get started. I think what we should probably go for is just decorating the water a little bit. I think this is going to be our goal for today. We're just going to take it little by little. I'm going to separate these out into their own group. And our goal for today will be to finish one habitat. If we can finish two, that would be even better, so that I could get the final episode of Makulutano out for all of you today. Not today. Later down the line. If I get it out today, that would be insane. Because I already had a video today. I wonder who in the comments, not in the comments, but the live stream, was able to check out the... What was it? It was the Atlantis one, right? It was Atlantis. I know I'm kind of streaming Zoo right now, so I probably have the wrong crowd. But I'm curious to know if any of you guys caught that episode, because it was so fun to put together. But it took so long. Oh my gosh. The editing really, I thought the editing was going to be a lot worse, but I kind of have gotten into a decent groove when it comes to those narrative style videos, kind of like Makulutano and what's the farm? Stardew Zoo has kind of turned out to be. So I've been enjoying that a lot recently, but I don't know. It's just, it flows so much easier for me. I enjoy that so much more than the simple, how do you say, what do you call it? Speed builds. I don't know. I just enjoy that format, well, this format, really, since this is part of that, so much more. Because, I don't know, speed builds are fine. I feel like in the Planet Zoo sphere, they're getting kind of boring. Even in the Planet Coaster sphere. I enjoy Sylv's because he's very organized with his. But I can't really sit down and watch speed builds. And if I do, I'm usually just listening to the audio for it rather than the actual build itself. But yeah, that's kind of just my 2 cents on that. I gotta work on this little divot over here too. I'll probably make this a nice big rocky area. Why not? But yeah, I'm trying to stay away from speed builds. If you see one from me, just know I'm probably having a little bit of a tough day. So it's like, oh, you know what? We got to get something out to these guys. Out to y'all. Coaster isn't really your thing, Marvin. Yeah, I get that. I try and bridge the gap. I've always loved theme parks. I'm a big fan of, like... Okay, I forgot elephants will be making noise, so I'm going to pause the game. Always been a big fan of theme parks. I just find them kind of like the human version of zoos, where it's like you have all these rides that you can go on. It's basically enrichment for people, which is fun. So I don't know, there's just small similarities that you can always see between them, and also you can do so much more in theme parks than you can in zoo. So I'm thinking like IPs and stuff. So like Lion Rider, I was sitting with him the other day and he was making like a Hercules coaster, and you can't really do a Hercules zoo in Planet Zoo. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not going to be the best animals. Also, I am going to record right now so that I can actually get a little bit of this going. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like you can do so much more in coaster than you can in zoo. But that's not to say that zoo is bad. I mean, I'm playing it right now, literally. So I don't know. I find both mediums to be very enjoyable in their own rights. And that's really it. How does this look? I need this watercolor. Give it to me. And we're going to color this water over here. It really is insane how much better the UI is in Planet Zoo than Planet Coaster. Like, I don't know, it feels so much more crisp, and that's probably just because I have a ton of filters on right now. But I don't know, I just really like the look of this. It's fun. It's very fun. Hello, Phoebe. How are you? Ashley, you should get Coaster 2. If you're into it. If you're into it. I don't want to be yelled at again. There was someone in the comments the other day who was like yelling at me because I got the game for free. It's like, would you not want the game for free? But they're like, oh, we can't trust you because you got the game for free. And I'm like, I literally give you my unfiltered opinion. And that's really it. I don't know. But the game does have issues. Who said that? Ashley. So just look at my original review for it and look at my update video to see if the issues that you would have would still be in the game. If the issues seem to be too big for you to really look over, then I might suggest just holding off a little bit until, like, you know, the first DLCs and the first updates start to come through. But really just use your best judgment. There's a ton of reviews and a ton of very awesome creators out there who have given their 2 cents on the platform, on the game, just to help you make your best choices possible. Do we know what the next DLC is for Planet Zoo? No. No, we do not. And people are getting a little antsy. People are getting a little antsy. Personally, I don't care. And I say this in every single stream as of late. I've done 3 streams for Makulutano, and I say it every time. But I do not care what we get. I really do not care what we end up getting, because either way, I'm going to enjoy it. By the way, is the stream quality alright for you guys? Because I'm watching it on the side, and it is lagging like crazy. I just want to make sure that you guys are getting the best possible experience. But, yeah. It's really up in the air. I don't care what we get. We might get something interesting. We might get something kind of like Zookeepers, which I love Zookeepers pack. Do not get me wrong. But unfortunately, it just didn't really bring anything new-ish to the game. I mean, it really helped reignite my love for the game, honestly. It just sucks that it had to come in the same time as Planet Coaster 2, because, you know, as I hate to say it, but as a content creator, I gotta juggle the 2 games. It's looking good. But I don't know. I hope it's something big. I hope I honestly hope we get a better update than a DLC, because I'm kind of starved for new kind of stuff for the game. And if it's just the same old, I really don't care. But if we actually get something fun, if we get some like new fun game mechanic, like, I don't know, something to do with hotels, guests, all that stuff, maybe I'll feel a little bit more inclined to give it more of a passing grade. But I don't know. You want a Sumatran tiger? That's a good choice. That's a good choice. That's a tiger. That's a good choice. I think I'm gonna kind of block off this area because it's a little too steep for the elephants, and I feel like the baboons could probably get over here. So I'm just gonna kind of lay this out. Yeah. This is looking nice. It seems to buffer, audio cuts in and out, but it's tolerable. Okay, we don't want that though. We don't want that. I'm gonna try and close out of as many other things as possible. Just to make sure that you guys get the best experience. YouTube's not... How do I do this? Open Studio. I just want to make sure that this is all set. Give me like 2 seconds, guys. We're going to look at the flamingos in the meantime while I figure this out. You can look at these little hotel rooms. I'll hit play. How do I get latency? Can I not change it? Unless... Stream health, is that it? Poor stream status. Okay. I'm gonna try and disconnect my phone from the Wi-Fi. Maybe that'll fix it. Birds, you want birds? Red deer. Red deer. I would love a red deer for Planet Zoo. That would be so cool. Oh my gosh. Hello Toilet Warrior. Incredible name. That is really such an incredible name. It's not receiving enough information. Okay. Okay, monetization's on, so that's good. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna like move my Wi-Fi router closer to me. Maybe that would fix it. Maybe not. I hope I don't unplug it. That would be very bad, but it looks like I haven't. But oh no, I have a little receiver thing. This is so professional, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But hopefully that should be good. It's fine. Ollie, you're on the Planet Zoo grind. That is good. That is very good. Okay. Hopefully it should be just a little bit better. It hasn't done it in a while. Okay, good. I've hopefully fixed it. Knock on wood. Okay. Ashley, I have been to many countries. I've been to many. I've been to a lot in Europe. I've lived in Morocco for a good bit. That was very fun. Oh my gosh. Trying to think of what else. Favorite countries I've been to, at least. Ireland was very fun. Met some really fun people there. Really, really great people, the Irish. Belgium was honestly really fun. I've been to the Netherlands, but just to Amsterdam, so it's like, you know, it's whatever. I know everyone's like, oh my god, Amsterdam's so fun, but like, there's so much more to the Netherlands, dude. I wish I could have seen more. Went to Paris. Didn't do the Louvre or anything. I did Disneyland Paris. That was fun. Been to a bunch in like the Caribbean and stuff. Been to a couple in Central America, yeah. Currently planning our honeymoon right now. And fingers crossed, if everything works out well, we should be going to the Galapagos. So I would be able to cross off Ecuador. Ecuador? No. Is it Ecuador or Colombia? I don't know, I should probably look that stuff up before I start making plans. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But I haven't been to some, like, very obvious ones. I haven't been to Italy, which is kind of crazy, especially considering how I'm Italian. But I don't know, I'm kind of just holding off so I can make a better trip out of it, you know? Like, currently, my budget's fine. But hopefully, once I get a better job, once I get better money coming in, I should be able to afford a little bit more extravagant trips. And Italy is one I would love to ball out for. Just go for like a month or something. That would be great. Alright. This is looking alright. It's looking alright. Not crazy. Any states? Yeah, I've been to a lot. I've been to a lot. California was probably one of my favorites, but I've been to Nevada. All the Northeast. All of the Northeast. Virginia. Pretty much every state in between Maine and Virginia. Tennessee. Florida. Absolutely Florida. Love Florida. Just don't love who's in charge over there. Oh, Florida is such a mess. But it's pretty. It's pretty. I love going. I have good nature. But yeah. Alright. What is everyone wanting for DLC? I need to get some on latency to convent the latency. Thank you. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate it. Yeah, I really don't care what we get at the end of the day. I just want the community to either be so happy with the pack or be so disappointed with the pack. And I know that sounds like a dick thing of me to say, but I think it would be so much funnier if we get a bad pack than a good pack. I don't know. I love the idea of people getting angry about a bad pack. And I know that's so mean for me to say, but it's just so fun to have that little moment. It is just so fun. Okay. The main stones are done. Let's come in here and get some of those tropical rocks. I'm going to do random rotation all. This is going to be fun. Yay. This is where I wish we had the scenery brush from Planco. It would help this go so much better. Shouldn't there be something DLC related for Coaster by this point? Yeah, I know, right? I feel like we should. The real question is, what theme would it be? Because we already have some really fun themes, but I'm hoping that if we do get a pack soon, we get like a decent theme. You know it's basic, but you want a bird DLC, yeah. I think everyone and their mother does at this point. But like, at this point, I don't care. I got my mods, that's all I want. If we get official ones, that'll just make the mods even better. Let's get a few rocks going on. Right back there. But if we get official birds, that would be cool. If we don't, that's also cool. It doesn't really bother me. How badly you want a manatee? Tell me about it. Oh my gosh, manatees are some of my favorites. I wonder how they would do that, though. In, like, Planet Zoo 1. Because I think if we ever do see a Planet Zoo 2, they would absolutely have to have aquatic animals day one. Because I feel like they wouldn't wait for a Planet Zoo 3. There's just no cards in their hand to have them do birds, but no fish or like aquatics. Or vice versa. Vice versa. If it were vice versa, if they bring fully aquatics but no birds, people would not be happy. People would not be happy. But again, that would be one of the funny things I mentioned, where community gets angry, but Leaf gets a good chuckle out of it. There was some backlash at the hyena. Yeah, there was. There was. I still have the old hyena files of, like, the bad hyena. Redo that. Can you exit out of there, please? Thank you. Yeah, that was super funny. But they remastered it, so who cares? Ancient Egyptian theme. For Coaster? Are you talking about Coaster, Brett? Because honestly, that would go so hard. Kind of like the adventure pack. Also, let me know if the ads are too much, y'all. Because I think every time my screen on my left goes black, it means that there's an ad playing. And I feel like it's going black a little too much. But it's Christmas season, so I need money for presents. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that would be sick. Kind of like the adventure theme, but a little bit more with like a desert twist. I feel like that would go so hard. Ooh, this piece. This area needs some more rocks. The baboons are so freaking tiny. I just saw them in real life too. They're so cool, but oh my god, they are so tiny in real life also. That's why I have at least 100 in here. It's kind of crazy. You have no ads? Alright, that's good. That's good, Ashley. Alright. Rocks are looking good over there. I'm gonna get like a couple over here too. That's good. That's looking good. Oh my gosh, why did I make this water so big? It's crazy. Okay, let's just get back to work. What else is going on? What projects are you guys currently working on? Taxidermy mod is still in the Discord, yeah. Cobra Tools modding server. Just look for files posted by Inaki. And you should be able to find it. Don't bother him, because he will just get angry with me, and I don't want that to happen again. But yeah, what projects are you guys currently working on in the Planet of Zoos? I'm so curious. Or even Planet Coaster, if you guys are playing that. Mummies, that would be so good. Oh my god, give me more animatronics, please. I'm joining the animatronics train. I was originally like, we don't need it. We have like all the cool custom animatronic pieces. No, we need a skeleton that we can put items on so we can actually make humans out of them, you know? You know what I mean? That'd be fun. But yeah, I'm curious to know what projects you guys are working on. Perry Diza, hello, you will always be a gem. How are you? Lovely to see you once again. Perry Diza is a cool zoo. That's one that's on my list. But I hear the welfare. I'm going to throw some hot takes out here. I hear the welfare there isn't really the best. I hear it's just some dude trying to flex his money. Sorry, I thought I saw a penis on that. And, like, that's cool. But, like, flex your money by giving animals, like, decent amount of space. And, like, actual good welfare. I don't doubt that the welfare is good. I just think for the amount of money that they have. I've seen some pictures by Just Goron about some of the exhibits. And I'm like, maybe they could improve them a little bit. You're working on a Madagascar exhibit. Or zoo. What was that? Zoo. That's awesome. Brett, you should start on that now. There's a million awesome Madagascar animals out there. I can't wait to remaster my lemurs once I get the chance. Once everything kind of slows down. Cannot wait to get back into modding. I need to work on my seal, too. I'm currently working on the bearded seal. Those guys are so cool. Speaking of seals, I went to Mystic the other week. And I got to see a hooded seal in real life. Those guys don't really come as far down as Rhode Island typically, but this guy, or girl rather, she was eating rocks off the coast of the Little Rhodey. And she got sick, and Mystic Aquarium took her in, which was very good of them. So that's good. And I got a lifer out of it, so hey, everyone benefits, you know? Mystic gets the press, I get the lifer, seal gets to live. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Placing rocks. Placing rocks, placing rocks, placing rocks. Yeah, placing, oh my gosh. Some of the habitats are too bad, like the bear pit with the wolves is too small. They have a bear pit with wolves in there with them? That's kind of crazy. I want to do something up here. I want to continue a little bit of the rocks up here, just so that we have flowing textures. Flowing textures, indeed. That's looking good. Coastal Zoo from Marvin, currently waiting for his new PC to get back full force. That is awesome. I remember the first time I upgraded my PC, I could finally load into some of my bigger projects, and it was night and day. It was night and day. It was so good. And honestly, it gives me so much more creativity. And I know that's so weird for a hardware change just to do that. But when you're like, oh my gosh, I can actually move around in this park now. I can move around at full force. I can place things down without lag. It changes your entire game perspective. And you can be like, okay, now I can place even more items down to have my game lag out even more, which is very fun. This part needs rocks. Honestly. Leaf is going to be a little cheeky over here. And, bop. Bop. And, bop. Listen, I talk about this in the Planet Coaster tours that you guys are going to see in a bit, which, listen, even if you're not into Planet Coaster, check out those tours, because it applies to Planet Zoo as well. It does. It really does. Using blueprint groups always does help a ton, especially for stuff like this. Like, look at that. You can just place those down right there. You can get these nice big rocky areas, and it looks good. It looks good after that. And now we have this lovely rocky waterbed. Tell you what. Oh, Brett. F you. F you. Snowflake the gorilla. I remember when I was a kid just seeing pictures of Snowflake. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this. And what we're going to do, we're going to go all along the water surface, wherever it makes the most amount of sense. And just take these and push them down. No, I remember as a kid seeing, like, the pictures of Snowflake the gorilla, and I was like, oh my god, that is insane. Albino animals, that is freaky deaky, dude. That is freaky deaky. You're telling me that this animal that I only see as, like, kind of like an off blue kind of black, you're telling me that they can be, oh, white. It could be snow white. That is crazy. That's awesome. That's a real lifer. Not cool. What do you mean not cool? What do you mean not cool? What are you referencing? Because I'm like several minutes behind, I think. Talking of tours, what about Aqualuna? Shoot! Haribo! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll tell you what, shoot me a DM right now. I have dinner plans tonight, but I will absolutely check that out after I have dinner tonight, because that is one park that I am dying to check out. And I have not yet. So please do, because I am just I'm very spacey. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these pieces right here. Yucky. Hello, Leaf. Could you please go to one of the elephants' paws and place... Okay. Okay. Can you please go to one of the elephants, place a primitive spheroid... Primitive spheroid prolate number 1 on the elephant tail. I'm gonna assume you mean like this. Color it blue. What are you having me do? Wait, you want this at the base of the elephant tail? Davey T hashtag 42000. Did Okay. I'm banning NDP. Now my elephant is just gonna look like that. Now I just have a red elephant in my park. Thanks a lot. Ugh. That's funny. Points for creativity, NDP. Points for creativity. Okay. Putting those in there just to get a little bit more depth. Okay. That. Come on. Now he's. Fine. Whatever. Okay. Water is more or less done. Let's get African elephant. We gotta get some enrichment in here for these guys. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place down one of these. And then we'll kind of color this an off blue. That's good. We should probably get like one of the rollers over there. This is not going to be fun to decorate. Yeah, thanks a lot, NDP. Made me look sus. Made me look sus. Okay. I know there's a trick to do this without free build. I don't care. I have free build, so I'm just doing it. I do not care. Thanks, NDP. You really helped out the stream, buddy. Appreciate it. Among Us, yes, T-Rex. How are you, buddy? Okay. Those are mud pits. It just gives them a nice little place to play. Alright. Nuno, I know you mentioned this before. I am not going to take inspiration from the Lisbon Zoo for this one. I love the habitat at the Lisbon Zoo, do not get me wrong, but I think for this I want to go just something a little bit more different. I will be getting a whole bunch of rock in here, though, just to really make this area feel a little bit more wet, I guess. And, yeah. Okay. Since this is part of, like, that desert section, we do need to keep in mind what pieces we're going to use in here. So, oh, I did include, like, a bunch of rocks throughout here, so I think we're just going to go throughout here. Okay, I do not want random rotation all, please. Please, no. I just want random rotation. We're going to go throughout here, separate these out, go into this, and just go throughout here and just place a bunch of rocks next to each other, just so that we can kind of carry that little rocky motif throughout here. Typically, elephant habitats don't have a ton of rocks in them. It would be very terrible on their poor little feetsies, but for the sake of this, it's fine. Again, we're doing we're doing leaf style building where it's like we're going to be realistic enough, but we understand what realistic habitat requirements are, but we choose to ignore it for the benefit of our eyes. Opinions on the new DLC format versus the alternating animal and scenery packs. I'll tell you what, I like it more. I like it more. I will say, there's one thing I've noticed that we don't really have anymore with the new DLC format. We'll just cover that up with bushes. I don't really care about that. We don't get any more wall sets, which I dislike. I dislike. Like the last one we got, what pack was it? Was it Tropical? Was Tropical the last wall set? I mean, listen, the Tropical wall set is fantastic in itself. But, man, I miss getting wall sets. Alright, we sink those slightly into the ground. And that just gives us a little bit more texture around there. And honestly, where's this boy? Can the elephant fit in there? That's a kind of weird effect. Elephant cannot fit in there. Do we have elephant doors? I need just like a big door. You think the elephant would go through a automatic sliding door? Or what about a modern revolving door? No. We got a be a little bit more serious. Custom doors, no siree. Realistic animal doors. Again, these are just too tiny. Elephant fencing? Crocs. Thank you. Who did this one? Vihoha. I will say, no offense, Crocs, I'm using Vihohas because I feel like the colors already match better and I'm lazy. Yeah. Let's get both of these in here. We can do something kind of like this. And I think if we do that fence right here, bring it down right here just to the point where we don't see that. And then we should be able to duplicate this, and it should be on the 2-meter grid. We could just simply do that, and we'll cover. Ah, shoot, that's the pathway. That's fine. That's fine. We can work with that. We'll do something kind of like this. Mess that up, but it's fine because, again, we're working on the grid. That's very helpful. Turn it around. And we can steal. I need one for a gate or something. Can we separate this boy out? Maybe right here. And we just do 2 of these. I don't know. I'm not going for intense realism over here. Again, it's not really my vibe. But I definitely do want to at least make it make a little bit of logical sense. Because if the logic works out, then that's all I really care. Let's duplicate that boy right there. Let's get another going on right over there. Okay, listen, it's not perfect, but I kind of like what it does. Kind of like it. And it doesn't really obtrude upon like the exhibit or anything, which is good. I'm just going to get rid of all these pieces right down there, and that's good. We'll say I need a little bit these. There are large animal doors on the workshop. Thank you, Quentin. But I am I am probably like 10 minutes ahead of you. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so these are going to be just holding off the kind of safari tour, which is fine. And I kind of like the small little bit of elevation changes just because we need a little bit of that interest in here. And it also just gives a little bit more depth to the habitat back there. Do I have a red kangaroo? Don't ignore me. I don't have a kangaroo. I wish I did. I feel like a kangaroo. I wouldn't get a kangaroo. I would get a wallaby. My fiance is very much annoyed whenever I do bring up the idea of exotic pets. But, man, if I could get a wallaby, that'd be awesome. Maybe one day when I own, like, a beautiful little ranch house with, you know, 1 million acres of land, that will be the day I'm finally like, you know what? It's wallaby time. It's wallaby time. But right now, it is not wallaby time. Sadly so. All right, let's kind of do a little bit more rock work around here before we get into the foliage. We're going to try and make, well, again, we don't really need to worry about back there because you're not going to see it. I'm going to try and make this make the most amount of logical sense and probably give some of these areas just a little bit more difference in terrain. I know many people don't like exhibit animals, but it'd be nice to have cobras or panther chameleons. I agree. I agree. I get NDP. I hate you. I hate you so much. No, I really do think that exhibit animals, they still do need a little bit more love. Whether it's, I'm just going to place that right there, then delete the other pieces. That is some good soup right there. I really do think exhibit animals need a little bit more love. I think there's still a ton out there. I mean, the game is run by the Cobra engine, and there's not a Cobra in-game. Make that make sense. Like, come on. You guys missed it. You guys literally missed it. Yeah, that's cool. So we get just like a little bit more elevation, especially for the tour over here. I want to make sure that the tour doesn't clip into this area back here. So, can you guys get the hell out of the way, please? Please move. Please move. Okay, they do clip, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think we can work with that. I think that's fine-ish. We'll just have that be like that. And maybe we can do a little something creative over here. I'm gonna see what I could do about this. 45 degree. And, take these pieces, move them, maybe not 45 degree, maybe kind of like that. And then duplicate it right over there. And boom. There we go. That's fixed. That's fixed. 45 degree. Can I add a hyena? I'm sorry, Jessica. No hyenas in here. You guys are lucky I added the flamingos. You're lucky I added them. How did the keepers add food over there? Were they able to cross? That's kind of fun. I did not know they could. That actually makes it so much better. I think I'm going to get just a few of these around just to help break it up. And then we'll probably, I know we just placed a rock over there, but it's just one rock. It's fine. We'll do a little bit of this. And then we can do a little bit of smoothing. Oh, a little bit of flattening. And a little bit more, because I'm bad at this. But it's fine. It looks good. Alright. It's looking alright. It's looking pretty alright. I just want to get, like, enough interest in this habitat, you know? Because, I don't know. I always struggle with hoofstock habitats. I've said this before, where it's like... sunburned elephant. Yeah, he got a little sunburn. Where it's like, it's just one big open plain. But I think these little divots over here that we're adding really do help a little bit more. It's just we gotta play with them within the context of the habitat. Hi, Poison Blade. If you guys want to watch an insane series on Planet Coaster, go watch Poison Blade's stuff. He is doing this insane park right now. Poison Blade, the music, the orchestra flat ride that you made. So good. So good. That was so cool. Alright. Yeah, it's looking good. I don't want to add too much to the tops of these. Like, I want, obviously, the nitria bushes. I think that these will need to go up here, obviously. Still one of, like, the best things I've found from the community. I forget the individual's name. I think it's on Bronation. I forget who did this. But they pioneered this little technique over here where, like, the droopy pieces, they just work so well. Do I have... No. Okay. I'm sorry, Jess. I don't have any moderators over here, so I'm going to be the mean one. If you keep asking that kind of stuff, you're going to get the mute. Just be chill in the stream. It's all good. Am I putting this map on the Steam Workshop? Yes, I am, and I will be putting Atlantis on the Steam Workshop soon. I apologize, I usually like to have that on the Steam Workshop as that goes up, but I have all of, like, the blueprints that I used on there, on the workshop, so that's good. I need these ones. Or are these the same? I don't really know. What is my favorite zoo and why? The San Diego Safari Park is my favorite zoo of all time. Just because the habitats looked exactly like this. I mean, they're habitats at the end of the day, so it's important to know that it's, like, not their natural environment, but the experiences you're able to have at the safari park make it the best zoo I've ever been to. So it's kind of like a pay-to-win situation, unfortunately. So the way that we did it, I went with my fiance and Remnant, huge shout out to Remnant. And we did the it was one of the safari tours, and it was so worth it because we got to see a lot of rare species that were typically behind the scenes. And we got a personalized tour with a San Diego tour guide, which was just incredible. Like, it was so cool to hear firsthand accounts of, like, what the park is doing. All the conservation efforts that they're a part of. Save the chubby unicorn. That I literally hate that tagline so much because it's just so annoying. But it's good that they have it because more people care about conservation because of it. So, you know, it's fine. It's fine, I guess. But no, the park is great. Not to mention they have platypus, which is like one of my favorite animals out of Australia. Monotremes, hell yeah. Their Asian section is really good. Their kind of Africa section, their walking trail is really good. Their aviaries are really good. It's just an insane park that I think outranks the zoo because the welfare is just so much better at the park. And the experiences are better at the park as well. It's just a incredible, incredible location. The zoo is number 2, though. The zoo is number 2. The amount of species you're able to see at the zoo is incredible. The kinds of animals you're able to see there is incredible. The displaying of the animals is also incredible. Not as good as a safari park, but... Oh, what is... Oh, the favorite zoo I made! How could I be mistaken? That's funny. I'm like going on this whole tirade, and you're like, oh, I didn't mean that. Favorite zoo I've made? It's a good question. It's gotta be this one. Like, it's so close, and it's the same reasons. It's like the safari park aspect of it. But current finished zoo that I made that I'm most proud of, I love the, like, I could do Boggy Bottom so much better nowadays, but I love the vibes of it. It was such a fun zoo to put together. It's looking good. It's looking good. So Boggy Bottom was great. Wildwoods also. I'd say they're tied for first. They're probably tied for first. Both were just really fine. Job, I think your name is Job. Look in Planet Zoo modding. You should be able to find a link from Anaki. PZ modding, it was like at least a month or 2 ago. I don't know. Sorry, buddy. I'm thinking, what do we do now? What do we do now? When I'm done finishing my Congo part in your zoo, Quentin, if the zoo is finished, send it my way via email. And I'll throw it on my list. I currently have a running list. It's just I haven't had time to go through it just yet. But throw it on the list. If I get like a spare moment, I'll absolutely check it out. But only if the zoo is finished, because I don't really like touring half-finished projects. That's just me. I want to keep the kind of foliage level up here to a minimum. Just because I don't want to take away the sightline. You know, I don't want anything to eat up this. Like, I want this to speak more than this. I'm playing it zooted right now. That's funny. I should not be a zoologist. I really shouldn't. I'm honored that you think that, but, no. I'm not good at chemistry. I'm not good at math. And I have a pretty decent job right now, so I'm not looking to leave that anytime soon. All right. That's fairly decent. Let's see what else we can sneak in here. We definitely need some Doom Palms, so I think we're going to add these towards the back. I really want to make this feel open, so I think we're going to put most tall trees towards the back. Probably one right here. Sneak a couple kind of like right around there. One right there. Because, yeah, I want this to be nice, big, and open. You have not built yourself into asylum yet, so it's going pretty well. I'm happy to hear that, Poison. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, we will be adding a couple oil palms around here. I think one right here. Just to build up a sight line or something. I don't know. I think kind of framing this, though, we definitely need a few, so we're going to be putting down a couple. But that way, you see what I mean, where it's like, if you look at it, it kind of draws you in, and there's not much happening in the background. That's exactly what I want. That is exactly what I want. I will include just a couple of these acacias, just to smidge more height. Again, huge shout out to Booty for these, because they are incredible. In fact, we got to do a little bit of a kind of memorial. Not memorial. It sounds like he died. Hello, Basic. Oh my gosh. How you doing, buddy? Not really a memorial, but what do you call it? Like a dedication plaque. For all the incredible blueprints that we're using in here. Let's get our blackthorns. I'm not really using a ton of blueprints in here, but I'm definitely using a lot. So like the fonts, those are from Wyatt. So we got to make him have a little dedication in here. We'll probably have that be at the front of the park. And any other blueprints. If you guys know any blueprints that I've used in here, let me know, because I don't want anyone to be forgotten about. And yeah, I'm kind of working on the framing of this habitat first, like the exterior, because I'm scared of working on the habitat, because that means I got to use smaller pieces, and that means I got to work longer on it, which is kind of terrifying to me. I think I'm also going to do just a barn back there. The same one we've kind of been using everywhere. So I think I'll probably just plop that down right now. Probably do that right around here. We'll kind of tuck that in about right there. So listen, it's not perfect. Again, that's all implied back there, so I don't really mind too much. But yeah, it's not going to be functional. If you guys want functional, go to Caesar. He's doing some fun stuff. I checked out his spurred tortoise build today. It looked really freaking good. Really good. Gotta go. Have a great one, Haribo. I see your DM, and I will absolutely check that out tonight. Thank you, buddy. All right. Going in with the marula trees. Again, I love this whole process I have set up for myself over here. Just kind of going throughout these areas with big bushy pieces of all different types of greens, of whites, of yellows, just to really make it feel like an African savanna. And again, not eating up that skyline, because we do not want anything to be poking above there. We'll probably have some bigger trees in the back, like some baobabs, just to really center this. Surprisingly, I've not used any baobab trees in this project yet, which is kind of crazy. But I will soon. I will soon. In fact, let's look that up right now. Baobab. And I think the Madagascar baobabs are the tall ones, so I think we should probably bop, 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 bop. Oh wow, we're really at the edge of the map. Oh, wow. I did not build this too well. I did not build this too well. That's a shame. But it just gives it a little bit more interest if you're, like, flying over, so that's good. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta sit on that. Finally found taxidermy, of course. Enjoy it, Job. Just let us know. You're officially a bug tester now, so let us know any issues you find. Just be careful with, like, small mammals and stuff. They will crash the game. How many hours do I spend in Planet Zoo for a video? Too damn many. Too damn many. It really depends. Sometimes I spend, like, 2 or 3 hours on a speed build. That was really back in the day. As of late, I've been trying to spend a lot more time on my projects. Not to say that my old builds were bad, not really. But just because I like to take my time, and taking my time usually results in a much more cleaner, more finished product. And yeah, that's really it. I do not like these frames. I do not like these frames. Let's go to enrichment, and let's see what these guys would like. Because yeah, I don't really like that aspect of this park so far. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a custom climbing frame for these baboons, just so they could actually get up to these areas up here. Because currently, I want to make sure that they're able to. I'm going to refresh the stream, but hey, be sure to drop a like if you're enjoying this. It really does help a lot. And yeah, that's really it. I'm going to find... Let's do Skyrim music. Let's do Skyrim. I enjoy Skyrim. Yeah, be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying the stream. By the way, did you guys know that if you hold F, you automatically turn on angle snap? That is a little trick I learned from the Planet Coaster people, which was kind of fun. I'm going to do this right here. How come it's not going the right way? Okay. Going to select both of these, then kind of duplicate them on themselves. Cool. We're going to take this and push it right over there. So we can kind of cap that off, and then we're going to do another one right down there. And then we can tuck these guys in right there. Do thin. Then it should be 2 ticks, and then we can kind of just do a little bit of a climbing frame. Doing these little ladder pieces doesn't really affect it too much, but I don't care. It's just for aesthetics. It is just for aesthetics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. And maybe we can do some kind of funky climbing frames for these baboons up here too, but that's kind of the stuff that I want out of here. And maybe I can even do a few vertical, kind of like this. And I think I will need another support one right back here. I wish I could get into like this level of detailing for Coaster. I don't know. I feel like I'm so much better at detailing in this game because I have the context of zoos under my belt, but damn, I just gotta go to more theme parks. Tuck that guy in right there. Okay, so that's all set. So now we can kind of go throughout here and maybe tuck this guy right there. And then delete this piece right there. All right, what are you guys doing for the holidays? What are your holiday plans? Okay, let's fast forward. Can you guys actually access that? Okay, you guys can access that, but you can't, like, climb it? Okay, cool. That works. That works so much better. I'm excited for the holidays. I'm excited for the holidays. My family will be all together. We don't really get the chance to be all together all too much, but Christmas time is always the time that it always happens, so it's always very good. Get to see family members who don't live close to me, which is very good. What is my favorite mod that I have made? Favorite mod that I have made. Proboscis Monkey Remaster. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think, but I really don't have a single favorite mod. I could probably pull from like a list of like mods that I'm the most proud of, but currently I just don't have a favorite. It's like asking a parent to ask their favorite kid. They probably have one, they just won't tell you. Okay. All of them can use that, so I'm pausing. Yeah, that's looking good. SFA. I don't know what SFA is. Tell me. 42 likes. All right. Let's make those likes go higher, boys. Favorite monkey. What's my favorite monkey? I like Diana monkeys. I think they're very pretty. Okay. Guys, I gotta stop stalling. Gotta stop stalling. It's time to foliage. Actually, should we work on some climbing frames? Let's see frames. There has to be a few, like, pre-made ones that the baboons can use. Wow, Munker. Who made these? Please don't break on me. Please. And it broke. That is why I don't check the goddamn thing when I do that. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta load back in. Good thing I have autosave on a million times. What's up with the red-eared slider? I don't know, Jay. I do not know. It's the Terrapin mods that always break. The Terrapin mods, for some reason, are some of, like, the worst ones to make because, I don't know, they just don't work out too well. I would ask Anaki to help me out with that, but currently he's working on Planet Coaster stuff, so that's kind of what's in the way. Wolf Gwendons are fun. What's everyone else's favorite monkey though? While we have you guys all here. Mandrill popped up. Say Mandrill. It is sad, but hey, what can you do? 117. Okay, we didn't lose much progress, so that's good. Good thing I've kind of just been like bouncing around the map. That's always good. It is a great mod if you don't want to use terrapins. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Paddis monkeys are cool. Colobus monkeys, yes! Colobus are great. Some of my favorites out there. Sorry if you hear ice in the microphone. It's me taking a wee sip of coffee. Taking a wee sip. I gotta finish this damn elephant habitat. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, we gotta hunker down. Hello, Scott. How are you, buddy? Okay, we're loading in right now. I can switch back to the main monitor. Okay, cool. I was like, shoot, was I muted all this time? But I was literally talking with you guys, so hey, it works. Loading in right now. I gotta remind myself to save the game because Lord knows we don't want that to happen again. But yeah, it's going good. It's going pretty good. Man. It snowed the other day. That was fun. Okay. How much did we lose? Okay. We didn't lose much. We just lost, placing down the frames, which in all honesty isn't too bad. So I'm going to save. Kulutano, Big 5 working. Wait, did you just notice the leaf cam, Quentin? Don't tell me you just noticed that. That's been on there. That's been on there for the last few streams. Let's do that. We have that one. They should be able to access all of them now, right? Habitat. Cool. They're all accessible. Accessible? They're all accessible. Big 5. Let's save. All right. Let's get... What do we do? What do we do? All right. We gotta get working on some foliage. Let's get grass. Luckily, since it is a bit of a drier habitat, we get to work with the dry glass. Yeah, glass. Nothing like glass in a nice big old habitat. No, we get to work with the dry grass, which is going to be so fun. It's a good change. And we can kind of have it taper off around like the water sections, around like the rock work. That's typically how I do this. So my process for this, if you guys are new here, I usually like to go with drier grasses away. Oh, the elephants are being way too damn loud. Dry grasses away from water sources, away from the bottoms and tops of like, what do you call those? Kind of like mud banks and stuff. We're going to put just a little bit in there so we have like equal attention to dry and wet grasses. But typically in these big plain areas, we're going to have a lot of them. So that's going to be very important to keep in mind. But since we have elephants, they will just trample it. So it's going to be a very fun balancing game to see where we got to place this stuff. My elephants are quite big, by the way. That is because I have Planet Zoo Plus installed. It gives them a little bit more accurate sizes, if that makes sense. Which is very cool to see, especially in a park like this. You want to see big bull elephants really taking up like taking up room over here. Placing a bunch of these on the top as well, even though like these little kind of tiny areas will be covered up by bushes. Still gotta make sure that this area looks good. And I guess luckily we don't really need to worry too much about the grass since we'll be going over with a bunch more layers, but already that's looking pretty good. Placing a little bit around here. We're going to go through this entire little caravan area. First of all, let's where are they? Yeah, baby. Let's get these. Obviously, would not keep elephants in or keep the what do you call them, the baboons in, but I honestly think for the sake of this video and for the sake of this park, we're just going to have to live with this kind of look. I think we can kind of do something like this, do something a little bit like that. That would be angled down a smidge. And you know what? It's fine. It is perfectly fine. We will simply live with it. Delete those fences over there. We'll cover that up with, I don't know, a frickin' bush or something. I don't care. What am I interested in? What got you interested in YouTube? Okay, sorry. That took me like 5 hours to read that. I don't know. When I started YouTube, and I'm really going to date myself, it was around like the Palsley geekism era of YouTube for Planet Zoo and stuff. And like, I looked up to those guys so much. I was like, damn, they're doing some really cool builds. They're doing like some really cool community work and stuff like that. And I was like, that seems a little fun. So I started making videos, just like whatever parks I was kind of working on. I was super inspired by Poison Blade, actually. One of my first series was, it's still on the channel. You can hear like 10-year-old Leaf or whatever. I'm kidding. I was like 18, 19. It was Fjalland Islands. It was supposed to be like a flying islands, kind of magical, not really a zoo, but it was supposed to have like a bunch of Arctic animals and stuff in it. But it was supposed to be kind of based off his Cayenne al-Bashar. But instead of like arabesque kind of elements, I went a little bit more for Nordic elements. It was only 2 episodes long. Nothing happened with it. But it was a fun little stint. My first real series really kicked up with Sugar Pine Zoo. And that was like the first zoo I did on YouTube that I officially finished, which was really fun. But besides that, I kind of just got into this game. Really enjoyed doing habitats for you guys. Really enjoyed like the community aspect of YouTube. And after that, I kind of just started doing what I'm doing now, which is a lot more like creative narrative, really in-depth kind of overviews of, you know, mod showcases were really fun to do. Really enjoyed documenting the modding process when that was really kicking off. And I still do, but right now it's more so just helping people understand the basics of getting ready, getting like your mods to be installed properly or getting your mods to be coded properly. We'll cover those up. Yeah. And I really enjoyed that aspect of things, but I don't know. I don't know. I always saw YouTube as kind of like a creative outlet for myself. I've always been kind of like a more creative person. And having videos to do that with, it really just gives me a little bit more purpose. I don't know. It lets me really showcase stuff I love and enjoy. Like, I've loved animals all my life. So I was able to do my zoo tours like I'm doing nowadays. The zoo shorts. So I've been doing a lot of that stuff, which has been really, really rewarding. Not really on YouTube, but mostly on TikTok and stuff. So that stuff has always been so fun for me. But besides that, I don't know. It's just another creative outlet for myself. Always enjoy doing that stuff, and I enjoy that you guys enjoy it too. So that's really it. See you later, Jurassic. Hope you have a great one. Thank you for stopping by, keeping the chat a little bit more lively. Your presence is always appreciated. This is one of the best. This is one of the chats ever. Yeah. But yeah, I just enjoy that stuff. It's always been fun for me, and it's great that you guys respond well to it too. We get a few weirdos in the comments sometimes that are like trying to ruin me when I'm like, dude, I'm literally just making zoo videos. It's not that deep, but whatever. Some people just hate to see some people having fun. Now we can sink all those into the ground, and look at that. One plant down, 50 more to go. Oh, Lord. Okay, now we can do the dry version, which gives us just a little bit more green in here. And these will be a lot more around the kind of, what do you call these? Like the mud banks? The mud banks, yeah. And the water. And the water, of course. And around rocks and stuff, because typically whenever you do have plants like these, you'll have areas where it's like, they collect more rainwater, and that's why I typically do these around the mud banks and stuff, because let's just say it rained, the water would probably find its way down to the lowest point in a habitat or a landscape, and typically you find those around, like, you know, the edges of cliffs and stuff like that, so you get a lot more dense foliage. But yeah, it's gonna probably look like that. Elaborate, please. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean to elaborate. I'm kind of just yapping now. So let me know what point in the yapping you would like me to elaborate on, and I will continue to yap regarding that. But yeah. And typically, like, this little mud pit right over here, this would definitely have a lot more kind of grasses, and this little chunk over here. Look at this. Look at that. Not much a Planet Zoo person, but dropping by to say really nice mangrove trees in your water park. Thank you. Thank you, Schmorgluck. Hope I pronounced that right. Yes, thank you for stopping by. I know even though you're a coaster person, you're able to stop by a zoo stream. Always appreciate that. I always like to see the two parts of the community come together, because there's so much more in common than you guys think when it comes to theme parks, when it comes to zoos. Because zoos are basically theme parks. They're just like, the attractions are the animals. The attractions are learning. I know not many people like learning in their theme parks. I mean, just look at Epcot circa 1980. People really didn't like learning in their theme parks back then. But, well, I guess they did, because they made the rides, I suppose. But, no. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just over here yapping. You like my yapping? Thank you. Where's a foliage brush when you need it? Right, Marvin? Right? I feel like the Cobra Tool devs are working on that, but I could be wrong. I don't even know what they work on anymore. At this rate, it's fine. We'll get Planet Zoo too. And that will have a foliage brush. Let's get just a little bit more green up here. Yeah. Let's go through all of these guys. just a smidge, not too much, because I don't want to take away from the kind of dry look up there. Definitely want it to feel dry towards the back of the habitat. But, just like a little smidge here and there. Especially, like, right under here. Yeah, baby. Are you out here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People... The Planet Zoo community, be a gem, is very weird. Because, like, typically we get people in this chat right here, which are very nice, very friendly. We have people stopping in from, like, the coaster community, like, hey, how you doing? I know, like, I'm not a zoo person, but I'm stopping by to say hi. And we got people like that. Like, who said that? Who said that? Schmorgluck, yeah. So we got your Schmorglucks. But then you get your weirdos. And your weirdos who are like, I want to ruin you because you said something about a zoo game. It happened on... I deleted the comment thread so no one can go find it because I don't want to bring attention to individual people. But, like, I mentioned in the video, I'm not sure if anyone saw the We Don't Need Birds in Planet Zoo video, where I explicitly mentioned we do need birds, it's just not the point of the video. But they got mad that I'm using my platform to advocate for something that is not birds. When I explicitly said in the video that everyone is already... the Frontier is already aware that birds will need to be in Planet Coaster... Not Planet Coaster. They're already in Planet Coaster. We got pigeons in there. Birds will need to be in Planet Zoo 2 or in a Planet Zoo DLC. But they got mad that I said... I'm not going to do that because they already know. It's like telling... It's like... I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. But they got mad that I was like, I'm not going to talk about this, and I'm going to use my platform to advocate for stuff that is on the margin lines that people don't really think about, but will absolutely improve the game. And they're like, well, I can't believe you did that. Like, I'm going to go through your playlist and dislike all your videos, which is so freaking weird, dude. I don't know. Like, it's so strange. Like, I'm playing the same game as you, and listen, I'm not going to say I have a heart of gold, but, like, I can at least be a decent person. Well, we did not decorate this area back here. Oof. Yeah, I got a lot more grass. But, like, just don't be weird. And there's a few situations like that where it's like people in the community just, like, they don't understand internet relationships and, like, I don't know. I'm just a guy. I'm not, like, a celebrity. I'm just some dude who makes YouTube videos. And, like, I'm literally just a person. Like, I'm not an omnipotent being who has full control over Frontier like the friggin' Illuminati. No, I'm literally just the same as you guys. It's just I post videos. And that's it. I don't know. Why are people starting beef over RTX Zoo Tycoon? Well, I'll tell you what, Oli. Why did people start beef over Zoo Tycoon? That's the thing, too. Zoo Tycoon had its fair share of drama. And it's like, come on, grow up. Granted, it was all teenagers in Zoo Tycoon. But, like, come on, grow up. We're all playing the same game. We're all out here making habitats and just trying to have fun with it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to talk too much more about that because they could be literally in the stream right now. And frankly, I don't want to even acknowledge them any more than I already have. But whatever. Whatever. That was fun. That was a fun little tirade. I gotta go through with the dren grass right after this once it looks good. But I might do a little bit of the aquatic foliage. I don't know. Did we get most of the habitat? We didn't. That's the reason why I like doing it like this style. If we kind of exit out of that blueprint, we can see what sections did not get any grass. And that is honestly very helpful. And that right there, I literally do not care about that section. That is fine. Sink it in ever so slightly. Just enough to get the tips. And that is looking good. It is crazy. I thought Planet Zoo's fan base were people in their 20s. Yeah. And I believe that they are. It's just people are weird. And it's like, come on. Stop being weird, dude. Okay. Blackthorn bushes, we don't want to do those just yet. I want the Drin grass. That's the wrong section of Drin grass. I have like a little... There we go. We have a little template of it right over here. So we can kind of do these little sections back here. Nothing really too crazy. Just a way to kind of decorate these small little areas. I wish we could do random rotation with object groups, because I really need that right now, but it's fine. It is fine. It's cool. You can say that we are nothing, but you know the truth. But yeah. People be weird. But you guys aren't weird. Well, you guys are weird. I mean, you're watching me. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? But I appreciate it. I appreciate that kind of weirdness. We're all a little quirky. What is that? Oh, that's... I was like, what is that? I didn't place that bush down. No, that's just more grass. Okay, but once we get some of these in here, like, that is gonna come together so much more. I feel like I'm overdoing it with that, though. I'm gonna definitely do some more of that towards the back, but I cannot be doing that in the center of the habitat. That just won't look good. Am I going to release a video of these habitats? Absolutely, Owen. Absolutely. Owen, I have a series on this. It's just one video. It's not a series. But, no, I really wanted to have just a 2-episode series. It's just that 2-episode series takes a while to make. So it's going to be quite some time until the actual episode is ready. Granted, I do everything I can to kind of front load it. So I script everything out after I build it. Like, if I have a few minutes at work, I usually just like sit down in my notes app and I'm like, okay, here's the main talking points I want to say. Here's like the main editing things I want in here, the main shots I want to get. But that's really how I work with that. Oh, this is gonna look good. I love this little part right here. But yeah, it's the next episode will come. It's just I need to finish the building first, which is super, super important. Okay, I said I was going to hold off on that. Okay, so let's do a little bit of work over here. But yeah, it's just taken a while. I have 2 other live streams if you want to see me put them together in real time. So feel free to go check those out. They're the last 2 live streams I've been working on. But in the meantime, you can chill out here. You can chill out here. I do like you being weird, Poison. I do like you being weird. Mentally unwell 20-year-olds. Yeah, that's pretty much what we all are in the zoo community. There's also mentally unwell, like, 50-year-olds in the zoo community, but, that's a story for another time. It's a story for another time. Hot tub stream when? I'll tell you what, soon. Get me to 1 million subscribers. I'll do a hot tub stream. Hold me to that. Once, if I ever do hit 1 million, God willing, and you guys are still around for that, sure, we can do a hot tub stream. No matter whatever the content is, we'll do the hot tub stream. Okay. The one gripe I have is the Foliage and franchise. Like, my panda isn't going to care if there's... Yeah, no, like, who said that? Batman, the B-Man. The B-Man. That's a trick over there. Animals only care 1%. It only affects 1% of their welfare. So if you're fine with it never being 100, it's totally fine to throw in whatever foliage you want for the animal inside of their habitat. That is the one thing I learned from doing like the franchise mode, is that you can still make pretty habitats without doing 100% welfare. And the animals will not care that much. It is perfectly fine. Also, can someone... I know I wanted the frame. Can someone do me a favor and tell me who made... where were they? That was a fun climbing frame. I made that for... What one was that? I forget. I had, like, good climbing frames. Where were they? It was like a giant set of them. Climbing frame pack. Can someone look up climbing frame pack and tell me who made these? I feel like it was Squatch. I could be entirely mistaken, but I want to use them. Just because they're just so pretty. And they're going to work so well. And they don't really take up too much real estate in here. Also, are these different colors in here? No, they're all the same color. I want to get, like, nice tannish. Maybe a little bit more chocolatey brown. And I'll probably take these little beams over here and take them off and recolor them. You will remember that. Thank you, Poison. Yes, I want you to hold me accountable out of everyone else. In fact, you can join me. I'll fly you over. Or I'll come to you. Who knows? Yeah. Where are they called? It's called Climbing Frame Pack. And they have, like, a bunch of them. How much crap do I get from the anti-zoo crowd? It's not that bad, surprisingly. On TikTok, usually... Instagram is usually chill. TikTok can get a little bit spicy. That's non-functioning. We don't want that. We already used that one, so we can delete it. I kind of like these, but I might get rid of the kind of logs in there. I might just throw it right in here. Like, is that going to really take up too much? No, that's actually perfect. That actually works very well. TikTok usually gets me a few weirdos who are like, oh, I can't believe you still go to zoos in the year 2020, whatever. And it's like, yeah, I do, because I understand the good that they do. Now, granted, I've been to some very bad zoos for just the sake of going. I don't recommend really doing that because I feel like it sounds so stuck up of me, but I feel like I do have a little bit of a responsibility as a creator to bring attention to some of those places. Like, I'm gonna say the one place in Bolton, Massachusetts, that I am simply just going to say the name of the place, no, the name of the city, and you guys can do your own research. But that place is not good. That place is not good at all. Is this all one piece? This is not one piece. Shoot. Can I just circle these all up? Okay. But yeah, that place is not good. And I called them out for it, and they blocked me on Twitter. So that was kind of funny. You are not the right color. Can you please be the right color? There we go. Okay. I really like that. So now we actually have some climbing frames for the primates, but they don't really need too much. Even at Prospect Park, they did not have any climbing frames. It was all like, all kind of rock work that they were climbing on, which was fun. Okay, back to grass. Back to the grass. But no, typically the anti-zoo crowd stays quiet. TikTok, usually if I get a reel that pops off, really. They'll pop up, and it's just like, I get a ton of positive comments and a ton of negative comments, but it's like, I try my best to educate those, in the modern day. And I might do a TikTok dedicated specifically to how to spot a good zoo. And like the difference between a good zoo and a bad zoo. That's actually not a bad TikTok idea. Ooh. But that's probably something I want to do soon, because I feel like that information will always be relevant. Especially in the modern age where it's like we have some really incredible zoos doing some really great stuff. But we also have some terrible zoos out there who are doing just the worst things for animals, to animals, all that stuff. Really just exploiting them, which is very much a shame. But yeah, I see it as, I don't want to say it's like my sole duty as a content creator, but it's definitely like one of the things I do want to promote is spotting good zoos and spotting bad zoos, because one of the things, the climbing frames are by Squatch. Okay, I knew it. I was like, it's gotta be Squatch. Thank you so much, Gavin. I appreciate it. But, no, it's one of the things I've always cared so much about is people kind of just throw a blanket statement over some zoos where it's like, the AZA is good, but anything that is not AZA is bad, where it's like, no, like, it's so much deeper than that. Because I love the AZA, and I really don't have any necessity to go into a zoo field, so I feel okay to say this. The AZA requirements are absurd for some locations. And what I mean by that is, in order to be part of the AZA, you need to either be a state facility or like a publicly funded facility, or you need to have money. And unfortunately, for a lot of smaller zoos, they don't have the money. So one of the examples, I have 2 examples of really great zoos, actually 3, that do not have AZA accreditation, but I think outrank some of the other AZA zoos I've been to. These are Maine Wildlife Park, which is just an insane rehab facility and kind of zoo technically, for animals. There is Riverside Reptiles Education Center in Ludlow, Connecticut. Really, really awesome place. The owners are incredible. They have a YouTube channel if you guys want to go check them out. That is looking good, yeah. Really awesome facility. And, of course, Iguana Land. You guys know how I feel about Iguana Land. It's a great, great facility. It is a little bit more for profit. I do believe Ty does sell animals, but he also works tirelessly. Ty is the owner of Iguana Land. I wasn't able to meet him, but my freaking grandmother was. So the situation was, we were down in Florida, my relatively whole family, and I was like, I really want to go to Iguana Land. And they were like, we really want to go to like some thrift stores. So we drove up to like northern Fort Myers and stuff, and we were kind of just checking out the sites. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go into Iguana Land. Does anyone want to come in? And my dad went with me, but my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt kind of just stood outside, sitting on a bench. But over walks Ty and his wife. And they're like, what are you guys doing outside? And they're like, oh, we don't really want to go in. But Ty invited my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt inside. And they gave them a tour. And I didn't even get to meet Ty. It was so funny. But they were actually able to buy, not really buy, but they were able to take some plants. And my grandmother gave them a donation of that. My grandmother is a huge plant fiend. Tons of plants in her house. But it was so funny. It was right after, not funny. This part isn't funny, at least. It was right after the hurricane, so a lot of their buildings did get a little bit torn up. This was back in 2022. So they're like, we really don't have the space for these. If you want to take some, feel free to. And if you really feel inclined, just make a donation and that's it. And she did, which was so funny. Snake discovery. I don't know what you mean. What is snake discovery? But long story short, very long story. There are a ton of insanely good facilities out there that do not have accreditation for whatever it is, the purposes that they need it for. AZA also requires you to participate in some SSPs, which ZAA participates in SSPs. So like, even if it's not AZA, there's still other accreditation places. Southwick Zoo is a fantastic zoo, but they just don't want to be part of the AZA for their own reason, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you don't need to be part of the big one. You can be part of other ones too. But it's just something to keep in mind, and that will be all compressed to a TikTok soon, now that I was able to actually vocalize the rant itself. But yeah, that's really it. And that's something I do want to touch on soon, so yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for getting me on a rant so that I just get started placing plants and kind of ignore everything else in my life right now. So that was very helpful. Thank you. But yeah, that's basically my 2 cents on that. that little ordeal. But yeah, basically, people need to understand that it's a complicated situation. That's really it. Okay. Drin grass is mostly done. I want to add some more over here just to brighten this area up a little bit. But yeah, Drin grass is mostly done, which is very cool. I mean, just look at that. And already, it's not too green. You still get a lot of browns, and I will go through with the foliage brush. Not foliage, but terrain brush, just to make sure it feels good. Was the elephant run over? No, the elephant is stuck. And yeah, we do have a sunburnt elephant somewhere. Where'd he go? Oh no, the game refreshed, so he's no longer sunburnt. In my opinion, AZA facilities are usually better. Yeah, of course, Jem. That's always the case, where it's like the threshold is always going to be AZA zoos are the top, ZAA are the next, and then unaccredited are at the bottom. But of course, there's always going to be exceptions to the rules, so it's just always important to know how to tell beyond accreditation what can make a zoo good. Usually, I don't want to say always, because again, I do believe Iguanaland does sell their animals, but that's usually just pet trade animals. But they do sell animals, but usually if you find a place that tries to sneakily sell animals, that's a bad place. That is a bad place, and I know a few that are like that. But it's just important to talk with, you can even talk with keepers at the place and be like, hey, listen, I know, like, you know, typically zoos, the good ones have accreditation, but they'll be more than happy to talk to you about what makes a good zoo, what makes a bad zoo, etc., etc. Let's go in with some reads. Let's get some read action. But yeah, just always be smart with it. And yeah, just do your research. Do your research mostly. Any tips for building habitats? Yes. Yes. I typically build habitats in my own fashion. I don't really build it like other creators that you see. So one of the things that I do, I start off with the barrier. So we can take a look at the rhinos over here. So you can see my barrier is all that. Then from there, I go in with a kind of fence work that I want to use. So for example, in the back, I use the mud walls. And then from there, I go through with small grasses, like the ones that you see here, slowly kind of sink them in. Then I work my way up to start with small grasses, small rocks. Also, I put down enrichment first, which is very important for me to do for the rhinos over here. We can take a little break from there and add some rhino enrichment. Rhino gyro, sure. Oh, rhino tire. So that's something I usually like to do, is just do stuff in sections. And that typically gives me a good idea of where I want the kind of areas of the habitat to really be. One of the things I enjoy doing are using the herb scents just to get animals to go into certain places. And yeah, just using their enrichment to the best of my abilities just to make sure that they have all these different areas for them to go to. And then kind of just building the habitat framework around that just to make sure that they are always using all corners of the habitat that I want them to. And then I work my way up from those smaller pieces all the way up to bigger bushes, like you kind of see right there, and like we're kind of doing with these reeds right down here. We're going to try and bring these down just a little bit more so we're not eating up the kind of sight lines of this build, but I will try and get some taller pieces just because. But yeah, that's typically how I build it. I place the habitat down, kind of build around the animals. Always put your animals down first, just so you can get a good sense of scale. Because, like, especially for this elephant habitat, why do I keep on saying it like that? I wish I kind of made it a little bit smaller, but I'm not too offended that I didn't, because it's a safari park. You always want to make sure that your animals, especially in a safari park, have a good amount of space and room. But it's just always important to make sure that you're building to the scale that you want. Have I ever checked out San Bernardino? That is also on my list for zoo tours. Who said that? Builder Yeep. That is absolutely on my list. I tried to load in the other day, but I think I just ran out of time. And when I say the other day, that is a flying plant right there. I mean, when I was before Portugal. So that was a little while ago. But I just didn't have the time to. And I still kind of don't. If I have a free moment at some point this week, I'll definitely try and do that. And Haribo's Park that he made with Christina. And all that stuff too. But soon I will check it out because it really is one of the most, I have to say it, one of the most influential projects of Planet Zoo history. ZHS has ZSH. Okay, there we go. He has absolutely turned the Planet Zoo sphere around in terms of his content creation. And that to me is so impressive. It just makes me look up to him as a creator because it really is so cool. Out of all the creators, I really do respect him probably the most. I have my favorites, but just what he's been able to do accomplishment wise, it is just so cool. I really want to make this feel like it's a little bit of an open area. So you can kind of look right up there. That is cool. So we're going to try and keep that sight line. And yeah, sight lines too. Always keep in mind sight lines when you're planning habitats because you don't want to ruin any good sight lines that you have. For the sake of, oh man, I want to throw like a piece right here. Just work with it. Work with the sight line. See what fits it best. And I think that should be good for the reeds. I do want to get like a few back over here. Yeah. Is this still the elephant habitat? Yes, it is, ya boy. Yes, it is. It's a big one. It's a big one. I'm taking my time with her. But it's really paying off. It really is paying off. I should probably give the elephant some shade. I don't want to take away from it though. Because they don't really get shade in real life, you know? What do I do next? I gotta go through with some of the smaller bushes. Blue stem, absolutely. We gotta go through with a lot of this. This is a great piece for kind of making these big bushy areas, especially right around here. I typically like to do this around areas where I don't want animals to really be. I forget if this messes with their navigation. I really hope it does. Just so it keeps the animals in nice big open areas. So I usually like to do these in big areas kind of like this. And typically it looks very good. Kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's the exact opposite. Yeah, I get that. I get that. How do I decide on a scale of a habitat? Mr. Jurassic. That's a good question. I've seen a lot of zoo exhibits in my day. So typically I go and reference off of that. So say, for example, I don't know. Like the elephant habitat at National is relatively big. So if I'm making an elephant habitat, I'm kind of like, ooh, I really like that one from that zoo I went to that one time. So I typically try and follow the same space dimensions as that. I don't really look into specifics like, oh, it's exactly 230 square meters in the game, so I gotta make sure it's lining up with whatever it is in Planet Zoo. No, I really don't do that. I typically just look at the animal in the habitat and say, how much realistically space do you need or would benefit from in the game? And that is typically how I work with that. Also, it's important to note that I believe Bold Equine, Bold, if you guys know her channel, very good Planet Zoo creator, she actually discovered that is looking good. Oh, yeah. She actually discovered that the more space an animal has in a habitat, the more likely it is to move around because it will choose different points of the habitat for it to move around to. So if your animals are not moving as much, make their habitat just a little bit bigger. Sometimes you don't want a big habitat, and that's totally fine. But that is something to keep in mind when you are making the sizes of your habitat. If you want that kinetic energy in your park, just keep that in mind. this is looking very good. I really like this. This grass piece is actually benefiting very well from this. So yeah, that's that. How do I get better at designing building architecture? I don't know. I don't know. You can ask Silver at that, because I do not know. I typically recommend, and I don't do this enough in my own parks, because usually my vision overweighs what I'm trying to do. But usually build one-to-one references. So if you want to build an elephant habitat, look at one online, or like an elephant holding barn. Look at references online. Go to Zoo Chat, go to Zoo Institutes. There should be exhibit habitats on there. And typically you can find some really good references for animal habitats and animal holding buildings, backstage areas and stuff. And that usually helps you out a lot in terms of, I need an idea on how to make this habitat look like this. And typically that is what I recommend. Now, of course, do as I say, not as I do. This entire zoo, I'm not really doing that. Mostly because this is a safari park, so I really want to emphasize natural foliage, natural climbing frames, even though these ones aren't really natural, but you don't need to tell anyone. But it's just keeping that kind of stuff in mind. No shame in copying if you need it. That is so true, Ollie. That is so true. I really do find that the best builds in Planet Zoo have been the ones that have been copied from real life. Because it's just so easy. It's so much easier. And it looks really good in game. And who cares if it's like not an original concept? Like, obviously, original concepts, when done well, are so good. But, like, you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about doing completely original ideas in this game. Because all that matters is, do you enjoy how your zoo looks? And if you do, that's good. You beat Planet Zoo. Yeah, we gotta cover up this little shit back here. Oh my god. Let's just, let's just cover that up. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. Who cares? Because you're not going to see that from the safari. You're not going to see that from anywhere. We might as well kind of just cover that up. And we can kind of continue that on right back here. Just to look like that. Monkeys would be able to get out, but who cares? Who cares when we're doing this for the vibes, you know? But yeah, copying is okay. What am I going to add next in San Cabrillo Zoo? I'm working on the pandas and Africa Rocks simultaneously. I really shouldn't be working simultaneously on projects because usually that means it takes double the time to come out. But that is what I currently have worked on right now. But right now the inspiration is currently localized entirely in Planet Coaster and in Makulutano. I really want, after Makulutano, I really want to get, what is it, Stardew Zoo done. So once we finish up the rhino habitat and once we finish up that, the little guest hotel area and like the center island lake, we'll be working, hopefully on streams with, what do you call it? Stardew Zoo. I'm sorry, my brain just doesn't work sometimes. So that will be a fun project for us to get into next, just finishing up the farm. I have a few ideas for like some wild areas where we'll introduce raccoons, possums, all those lovely things. So that will be really fun to get into. But yeah, that's basically the plans right there. San Cabrillo, I love San Cabrillo so much, but it's just, I'm not going to force a project if I'm not feeling inspired. And right now, I'm not feeling inspired. I apologize, but it's just how I work. I'm sorry. What is CLAC? CLAC stands for colorful, active, kinetic, and loud. That is my little acronym for the best entrance animals for Planet Zoo. I believe you might have just seen the last episode on that if you're asking about that. I do have another episode on that cooking. It's just I started recording it and then I hit a wall with it, so it's gonna take a little bit more time. I apologize. When's the next episode of Makulutano coming out? My friend, We're working on it. This is the episode. I can't give a actual date on that because, unfortunately, I can't build as quick as other creators. And this kind of project, I don't want to build as quick as other creators. I really want this episode to stand out. I am so proud of the first episode that I was able to do that I really want this one to match up to or improve upon what I did for that one. So if it means it's going to take a little bit longer for it to come out, that means I will be taking that up. And I apologize if you're waiting for it, but at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that what goes on my channel is stuff that I'm proud of. And yeah, that's it. Any suggestions for some light mods you want to get into modding? I would look up whatever your favorite animals are if you're hoping to add new species. Just be sure that it is 1.15 or higher. But if you're not looking to add any new species, Free Build is very good. Planet Zoo Plus is very good. One of my favorite mods, it is so dumb, but it's the animal name mod where I essentially worked with Sib CDC to get a bunch of new animal names in the name pool for Planet Zoo. So you can get like really fun names. You can get a lot more culturally accurate names. Like we added some more Congolese names. We added like Australian fun names. So you could get like a, I called it Crikey Core. So you can get like Crocodile Hunter for like a kangaroo or something like that, or a dingo. And like just stupid stuff like that. But it's a fun mod. It's a very fun one. So if you want stuff like that, it is there for you. But there's a ton of other ones for you to check out. Axie is very good. Well, you kind of need Axie for all the other ones to work. Yeah, that's really my 2 cents right there. This grass is taking way too long. But the benefit of doing this is that once we kind of get through the first rounds of plants, the next ones that follow will be easier. So that's good. That's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think for a big open area like this, we're just going to keep it nice, big, and open. But around these rocks, oh yeah, we're going to throw a lot more grass in. Like, look at that. That is looking fire. And like this whole section right here can have a nice big bush. Cool. And yeah, that is looking fire. What happened to Zoo Sarasota? I apologize, B-Man. It's just, I haven't been to Florida in a while. And unfortunately, it's the same thing with San Cabrillo. I need to be inspired. And Florida is just so specific with their zoos that I really don't feel confident I can do those habitats right. So it's currently on a little bit of a hiatus. I'm not sure if I'll pick it up again, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to disappoint. That's why for Planet Coaster, I'm not putting out any, like, I have a full park ready right now. Not park, but like, I have an episode ready, but I'm not willing to create content on it until I'm ready to follow through. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing with Makulutano. That's the same thing with, not, what is it? Stardew Zoo? Yeah. Where I want to make sure I can follow through on a project and put out something that I'm very proud of. And if it means it needs to take a while, then I'm going to take that up. Paleo accurate dinosaur mod. I agree, Ollie. I agree. Sib has the Jurassic World ones, which are very good. I enjoyed those for like animatronics and stuff. That was really fun, but no, I would love to get like realistic dinosaurs in here. That would be fun. Also, PK is going pretty hard as of late. I gotta pop back into that game. It looked really, really fun. Especially with like the Irish elk, Megaloceros. That looked really fun. The cave bear, all that stuff. Yeah. I can't remember. Do they have a stegosaur yet? With the plates on its back? Can't really remember. Also, oh my word, we gotta cover you up. Get out of here. Goodbye. Alright, And I think, honestly, I'm going to try and limit the amount of larger bushes in here, because even though we do need some, like, especially on, like, the cliff sides and stuff like that, we don't need to go crazy with them. Because, again, keep in mind, this is, like, the driest part of the habitat. We don't really need to make it too foliagey. I don't know. PK is cool. I'm 100%... Well, I'll... Brett, listen. Once I get the time, I'll take you up on that. Once I get the time. That's the issue, though. Time. Time is the issue. I just don't have any. Yeah. PK is cool. If you play Planet Zoo too much or just overdo it, it gets boring and you lose creativity. Gavin, that's the entire point of my video from the other day, though we don't need birds in Planet Zoo, which upset a lot of people, but it's just a hard facts. Planet Zoo is a great game. It's just, it needs fun. Because, like, this is a great little zoo over here, but once it's done, I'm not going to load back into this park again, except for the tour. And that's a little bit of a shame, because this turned out so good, but I'm not able to play in it, you know? That's why we need a lot more playful elements in the zoo game. Ah, man. This is good. This is good. It's not turning too bad. Well, we definitely got it. We'll kind of do a big sweep over that with these pieces later. I'm gonna decorate this little top area too, though. I feel like this is more tedious than the actual tinier pieces. This big bush. Because I feel like we gotta place more of them for it to look better. We can cover that up. Cover that up right there too. Yeah. This is looking fire. Zookeeper mode mini challenges. Tell me about it. Oh my gosh. Like, just let me have more gameplay elements. Like, I would play franchise mode if they had us do, like, tiny little mini games. Like, oh man, this animal. Like, one of the coolest ideas that one of you guys had in the comments. It was like, oh, you're researching a disease cure for your animal. For, like, a 10-minute boost. Go up to the animal in zookeeper mode and take a sample. Whether it's like a stool sample or something, or if it's like a saliva sample. I don't care. I don't know. But it would just be such a welcome little change that would reward the player for playing in a different kind of manner. And that to me is so important for this game in particular. Because really, there's already a few kinds of like gameplay styles. But at the end, everyone's making a zoo. Everyone looks at the zoo, and everyone closes the zoo. That's pretty much it. But if we had just like more styles of the game, that would be fun and rewarding. All right, let me take a sip of water. And yeah, Marvin, that's the thing too. Like, already, Planet Zoo, and like you said yourself, you run out of Steam creativity. That's gonna happen regardless. But like minigames, optional minigames that would give a minor bonus would be so welcome. That would be so welcome to me, because it's like, sure, there are players like you, Marvin, who wouldn't want that, but then there's players like me who would be like, that is the kind of crap I'm talking about. Like, that's the kind of energy I need in a game where it's like, it has you look at your zoo rather than just a project that you're working on, kind of like Makulutano. Like this to me, it's not a zoo, it's just a project. It's not a breathing organism. Cause the way that it works, these animals are in here, the zoo is functional, that's all I care about. But if they gave us the option to walk around the zoo, do little tasks in here, be a keeper, be a janitor, I would love that. Like, I would love that stuff. Wait, you did bring it up like that? Brett, can you send me that in a DM, the forum post? Because I'm a little offended by that. I'm a little offended by people not being on board with that. But yeah. This is really taking forever. This is taking forever. I'm never doing another elephant habitat as long as I live. These are annoying. They are so annoying. I miss the Riverside Education Center or whatever I did. where I just had an elephant habitat, like an outdated elephant habitat, and that was it. Because I didn't need to worry about any of this crap. But yeah. Oh, the music ran out. Let's get Safari royalty free. There we go. Background music. There we go. We'll put it on loop. There we go. We can get in the groove. These little areas are so freaking annoying because it's like, man, these little divots, they just keep on going. I just want to be done. Also, I can't see chat for the next few minutes as I kind of place down these last few pieces, but it's fine. I'm sure you guys won't get into too much trouble. Placing down a few more of these. We'll cover that up with some bigger bushes. But that is looking mighty fine. Ah, crap. We have all this to go. Damn it, damn it, damn it. It's fine. It is fine. We can kind of decorate this a little bit more, kind of like how I wanted to. Unfortunately, we'll need to use bigger bushes right over there, but that is no big deal. Okay. This is the back of the habitat. You guys are seeing lazy leaf at work. Group these up. Move it. And we go rapid time. We are going rapid time with this. I simply do not care anymore. I just want this done. And also, who cares? Like, it's going to be a nice big open plains habitat. Who cares if I don't place each individual plant the way that I've been doing it, you know? Because, yeah, that to me, that still looks good. Also, our baboons need to get the hell out of the way from these safari trucks, because that's going to cause a big stall. Quite a big stall. And yeah, I kind of outlined the safari truck path with this little grass over here, but I'll change that out for something else, just so that it looks like the elephants can go to both sides. It seems like they don't really want to. Thank you, Brett. Just saw the message. But yeah, that's really it. Just placing down some grass, placing down some grass. I love to place down some grass. And we'll cover that section up a little bit more with some of the bigger pieces, but overall, how are we looking? Because yeah, that to me is a finished habitat, but we can do so much more. I don't know if you should make a car park with the entry or just the entrance. A little strong edits. Here's what I typically do. I don't even start off with... We'll do palms. We'll do palms. I need something big and like something I don't need to worry about too much to be placed down. Here's what I typically do. I build for whatever the hell I am inspired for first. So whether that is a car park or an exhibit or an entrance, or even if it's like a little motif, like if you're going to have special benches, make the benches first. Make whatever you are inspired to build for first, because guess what? I'm assuming you're not making a speed build, so you don't need everything to be programmatic, kind of like I am doing right here. You don't need everything to be by the books. All you really need to care about is wherever your inspiration will take you first. And from there, that is kind of the method of your madness. If that makes sense. So for me personally, Makulutano, that... I guess it actually did start off with the entrance, which is kind of funny. But all of my other projects have always been habitat first, and then everything else along that. Because to me, the habitats are the focal point of the zoo. They're going to really set up like how you want your zoo to be perceived. And you can build your entrance around that. Of course, it works vice versa too. We're just going to put a bunch of palms over here. I feel like that would be really nice. But yeah, that to me is how I typically build and how I recommend other people build, because you don't want to get stuck in a process that is completely arbitrary, such as I need to do this 1, 2, 3. You can do it however you want. It's your game. When will the Von Sierra be updated? When I get the time, Quentin. When I get the time. I have some ideas for how I want to update it, but currently it's just I need the time to work on it, because I don't want to do a bad job on it. I don't want to rush it, but I know I do want to do it because they're one of my favorites. So if you're willing to just wait a little bit, I promise it will be good. I'll do some palms towards the ground too. And I think towards the back over here, we can do bigger ones just to help take up a little bit more real estate back here. And also, who cares? Who cares, dude? It's going to look good. It's going to look good. All right, those palms are all set. We got to pop in here. Let's actually get the papyrus reeds, because that was something I wanted to do when we were working in the water, but I completely forgot. And luckily, we just need to go through here, put them every so often, and we don't really need to change them from the water level. They really do not stray too far from the water line, so all we've really got to do is kind of like in these little areas, do a little bit of them on the ground, but keep them mostly along the water line. Rock wall, habitat staple. Yes, Evie. Also, Evie, give me like a few. I will upload that statue for you soon. I just completely forgot about it. Also, I haven't loaded into Planet Zoo. Like, the only times I load into Planet Zoo are specifically for these live streams nowadays, which is a little sad. I'm so sorry. Like, it feels like I'm cheating on Planet Zoo with freaking Coaster, but I mean, can you blame me? Coaster's so fun. Building backwards, people first, animals second. Yeah. There's flowing grasses by the gate. Yeah, I don't care. Thank you, but I don't. Fine, I'll get rid of that. Fine, thank you. Any tips on rock work? I really don't. How's the Kawadi mod going? It's going. Animations have given me a little bit of issue as of late, but I'm gonna just reach out to Cake and ask her if she can help me on that, because I'm annoyed by it, but I don't want to hold it on. Like, I don't want to hold on to that mod forever. We're just gonna do a little bit of Blackthorns in here. I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to hold on to it forever, you know? You guys should have it. Well, both of them. Content is only fun when creators enjoy what they're doing. I agree. Like, I can tell when people aren't feeling too enthused about their parks. Like, it shows not only in their voice, but also in their builds too, where it's like, I'm just doing another one of these because it's what the people expect. Like, that to me, it's not about that, the game. The game should always be, I'm proud of this. Here's what I did. And when I say the game, I more so mean like YouTube and stuff. But again, it's very hard to get those inspirations to happen too. I don't know. Also, let me select that and then do it this way. I know it doesn't seem too different, but it just lets me place these without adding them onto a building, which is kind of annoying. The Planet Coaster games. The Planet games are just so weird like that. They have their little quirks. Though I wish a lot of the quirks from Zoo carried over to Coaster too, but hey, what can you do? Yeah, these Blackthorns really do add just that little bit of extra goodness in here, which is very good. Typically also in these little drive-through safaris, you wouldn't really see them going through with the elephants. Usually the elephants would be in a separate paddock or something, but I don't care. I'm having fun. Let's get a little bit of these up here. Always rotating them to make sure that it looks good, it looks diverse. And yeah, that's it. That is it, my friends. Like how bored and sad you are working on this elephant. Listen. It's not that I'm bored of it. It's just that I build so much better when things aren't like this. When things are small, compact, and interesting, I build a lot better. But like, I'm fine building stuff like this because it's easier doing it with y'all. if I had to work on this on my own time, I would not have fun. In fact, I would probably say the series would be dead in the ground if I didn't have the chance to live stream with you guys. Just because, I don't know. It's just... the foliage placement, I don't know how, like, Caesar does it, but it's so freaking boring. It's such a boring aspect of the game. But it's worth it. It's worth it in the end. It always looks good. Ah, oh, man. Where do we need these? A few over here. Why not? This little section, the mud pit section. I kind of like how as we build this area up a little bit more, each tiny little piece in here gets to be its own little unique section. Like, I don't know, you have this little area back here, which is pretty forested. You have, like, this section over here, which once we actually get some terrain paint in there, that's going to be good. We have, like, this little mud pit section with, like, the little peninsula over there. We have this nice big open field right here. And that's kind of what I love about this kind of style of building. It just feels like you're building up from nothing. I don't know, which is kind of what happened, but hey. All right, we got that all kind of fleshed out. Let's get some more pieces down here. Just really bring these areas up a little bit more. And I think the blackthorns can do a good job at kind of hiding that area. That's good. That is pretty good. A few of them up here as well. And I think we're going to go through with the nitria bushes next, just so we can get a little bit more foliage cover easier. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A couple of them right over here too. I love this little vista. It's so pretty. I don't create content, but I always have more fun building zoos when I'm streaming to friends. Yeah! No, like, that's the thing. Even when I'm not in here, I'm usually, like, on a voice call, talking with friends, and it's like, here's what I'm working on right now. And it helps you have so many more ideas to it. Like, helps you, like, they're like, oh, instead of this, why don't you do this? And it's like, oh my god, why didn't I think of that? All right. Where are the nitria bushes that I can just copy? That's fine. That's fine. Nitria. Or how do you spell it? Nitraria. Nitraria. Okay, I do want to get some more dead ones in here. I haven't really been messing too much with that, but I think these are going to be our bread and butter mostly, just because this is the dry zone of the park, you know? So I will do a big old layer of these all throughout. And then once we actually find our way to the end of the habitat after we're done kind of placing these guys down, we can add some of the more lively ones. But yeah, don't need to put too many back here because, again, this is a lot more of a lush area, but it really just does help bring in another color, like that sort of light brown. It's very helpful in here. It's very helpful. Have a good one, Quentin. Which of the big five is this? It's the biggest of the five. It is the biggest of the five. Pickled potato. You can take a guess at what that is. They have the biggest enrichment in the game, and they have some of the biggest foliage requirements? No, habitat requirements in the game. In terms of, like, area size. And no, it's not polar bear. It is not the polar bear. Oh, yeah. I love those colors. I've been exposed. What is POT? I don't know what POT is. Is that passage of time? Either way, thank you for stopping by, Mr. Potato. It's appreciated. It's very appreciated. But yeah, we're building for the elephants right now. We're almost done with the habitat. We just got a ton of smaller details to do in here. Nothing really too crazy, but absolutely necessary details just to help the area really flesh out, have everything come together. And mostly just adding foliage. That's really it. Oh, I love that little section right there. That is so cool. A little bit more dead pieces right up here. We can do some up here too. Why not? There really is no point for the baboons to go up to those pieces, but I don't really care. Who cares? Dinosaur role-playing game. Cool. I could never get into those. Like, as a kid, that would have been the coolest thing for me, where it was be like, oh man, all the video games nowadays are like, oh, you're hunting the dinos. That's sad. I want to be the dino. But now it's kind of like, damn. You kind of just walk around, eat shit, and sleep. That's really all you do in those games. And it's like, I know how they can be fun for other people. I know how it can be relaxing. But, like, I don't know. It's just not for me. But that's cool. I'm happy that, like, you know, Lil Ol Leaf, if he were a thing nowadays, he'd be able to appreciate a game like that. Which is cool. But, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. That's pretty much it for the dry. We can go through with the real bush now. We can do kind of like sections like this. I needed that to be flat. Make it flat. We're not going to go too crazy with this because we already have a bunch. But we're just going to help pepper it in wherever we need just a little bit more interest. Like over here, I'll pepper it in a bunch because that just helps flesh up that kind of exposed area. And again, right here. Definitely over here. You should make a large mud hut with climbing frames. I would like to pickle potato. The thing is, though, I don't want architecture to be a huge influence in here, and we already do have a few good climbing frames from my buddy Squatch. But I don't really want to overdo it because most of the aspect in here is going to be the foliage, really, like the landscaping. And I don't want like a mud hut in the middle of here to really take away from that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just my thoughts on kind of like the habitat creation over here. Let's just get a few of them over here. I kind of like how open it is, but I think we do need a little bit more of that color. But yeah, definitely color up this that little section over there because it is not looking too good. But back in here, we can kind of corner off that little bush area, please, because I don't care to make that too detailed. A couple of bushes right up on the guest area too, because you really would allow for a lot more growth over there. Keeps the animals out and keeps the guests in. All right. That's looking good. That's looking good. I think we just have a few more plants to do, and then we can wrap that habitat up. I think one of the things I need to include in here is a marula tree. I never knew you live. Yeah, I do live stream, Matai. I do live stream. I don't do it too often. It's kind of like a, if I have a spare moment kind of thing, spare few hours. And if I'm feeling kind of inspired, if I'm not absolutely tired from doing work all week, I usually like to pop open a stream and be like, hey, how's it going? And just chill out with you guys. Yeah, look at that. Good color in here. So yeah, typically it's not really a standard thing. I tried to figure out the dual stream so I could get it to Twitch too, but it looks very much more complicated than what it's worth. And my audience is here on YouTube, so I might as well just stick with YouTube. But I really don't want to overdo it with these bushes, but in like these little sections down here, I'll absolutely kind of hammer them down. And like in the back of like these, because I don't want it to look too green. I want this to feel very dry in the habitat. Speaking of dry, I need some damn chapstick. My lips are as dry as this desert right now. Probably because I'm yapping so much. Okay. And we'll just do a little bit back here. Just help center this a little bit more. A little bit growing up there. A little bit back here too. We'll do one right there. Okay. Yeah, we can do a little bit over here too. Why not? Chill out while he frets over having to do foliage for a giant exhibit. Yeah. Yeah. But luckily the foliage is almost done. We do need a couple of these guys, though. The Sudanese frankincense trees. Not really to build up too much height, but like I just need a few extra pieces. Like back here. Like this area would absolutely have a lot more pieces. But really just trying to keep the tree level as minimal as possible. So really I just wanted the bushes to take precedent over here. Karine, I already answered that. Already did. Yep. Already did, and I'm too tired to explain it again. Let's get some of these plants in here. Because I'm tired of seeing a ton of mud banks up here. Just want to cover them up a little bit. Even though it is supposed to be relatively dry, relatively open. I want it to at least have, you know, the various pieces be broken up, you know? Let's get some overlap bits right there. And I would say that is looking fairly well. Okay, now comes the fun part. We are going to go over here with a boatload of grass. And you guys might be saying, oh no, I thought it was supposed to be a desert. It is. We're just doing a little something to start off with, and then we will paint over with everything else. Okay. So we're going to take the mud brush and just go everywhere where there isn't grass. And kind of just connect these little bits up. And so on and so forth. Kind of connecting these areas to the best of our ability. If we miss a few patches of grass, that is totally fine, because we can always go back to that. But right now, I just want to focus on this bit. So we kind of continue up right through here. So the method I'm going right now, the grass is light enough to the point where it's like I want it to kind of complement the foliage pieces that we currently have set down in here. And then we'll be going over the thing with another layer of dirt and grass and not grass. We'll be going over the entire thing with another layer of sand, another layer of all that jazz. Just to make everything really feel a lot more cohesive. A lot more cohesive, yeah. But this just gives me something a little bit better of a base to work with. Especially back here, we want that. And we want all this. That's where the elephants would be. These are where the elephants would be. No idea why they're just chilling out in the front of the habitat, but yeah. We have all this room. Okay. So we have that. And now we can go up here and we can change this to 20%. I think we gotta change it down to like 58. Yeah. So we just ever so slightly dab this down, and it should remove some of the grass, but it still keeps it just a little bit green, you know? Now for these areas down here near the water, I'm going to go through with a little bit of a 60% brush, 14 size. And since in my park, I have kind of like basically the idea is rock is mud. Rock is mud in my park. So I kind of go through these areas with a kind of rock brush And it just looks a lot more like mud in my eyes. It might not look like it to you guys, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm just doing whatever I do. And I'll probably do that around like each enrichment piece as well. Like where you would get higher traffic. Like these little stools. Not stools, but like these little areas for the monkeys to get up. And all that jazz. Especially around here. Especially around here. It just gives it another texture. We always love more texture in here. Now let's do a little bit of sand. Sand is definitely going to be a lot more of the important resource in here. Especially because it is a little bit more of a desert. Okay, I'm going to catch up with chat before I do that. It's in the bottom left. Yeah, who cares about face reveal? I'm sorry. Like, you don't need a face reveal. If you ask for another, you're going to get muted. Sorry. I just don't care. I could build a natural rock arch over the natural path. That would be cool. I like to put the long grass on 2 meter and do some spots with heavier foliage. I love that idea, Evie. I'm just too lazy. If it were a smaller habitat, I did that for the Dick and stuff. But if it were a smaller habitat, I would have done that. Unfortunately, I'm on a time crunch. Not really on a time crunch, but I do want to get this done. But yeah, we're doing some pretty decent progress in here. Doing a little bit of more sand in here, especially up there. Doing a little bit of lead-in areas over here, especially this little truck pattern, which is very cute. Adding a little bit more up here, down there, yada yada. Yeah, that, I would say that's looking good. Did you just say the grandma brownie chungo? What? What motivates or inspires me? That's a better comment. I'll tell you what, this coffee's motivating me right now. Coffee is a good motivator. Besides that, I don't know. I like doing it for YouTube. Like, this is part of the fun. I would say 50% of the fun is this, like the building and stuff. But I would honestly say more of the fun to me would be, I'm just going to save this as a blueprint. I do not care. Yeah, this is 50% of the fun, but the other 50% is going to be cool blue Astiff. The other half of the fun is making the videos and seeing your guys' reaction to them. Because I don't know, making content for me, and I hate to call it content. It's such a disgusting word. But it just sounds so forced. It sounds so unenjoyable. But I don't know. It's one of my favorite parts of doing YouTube, where it's like you guys tune in like every week to check out what Leaf is doing in his little video game world. And Leaf in turn gives you back like some good pointers and some good tips on how to make your game as optimal as possible. How to like make the most out of your own experience. And that to me is what I enjoy. And I like to see your workshop creations where it's like, oh, I'm doing my own version of like San Cabrillo and you guys use my blueprint set for it. And it's like, damn, that's actually really cool how you guys, I don't know, like you're doing your own spin on it. So that's always a big inspiration to me. The trick is that there's never too much foliage. That's true. I would just want to say amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you, Toxin. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's honestly how I got inspired. I go to zoos a lot. I've been to like probably 20 zoos this year. So that also helps a ton. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I like that though. I like this. This is looking very cool. We're going to kind of link this up over here. We're not going to work too much on the Jeep ride. I might actually just copy this. We worked on this. I don't know if I worked on this the last time. Let me know if I actually showed it off, but I think I'm going to do just a little bit of this. Why are my hotkeys not working? We're just going to do a little bit of this work over here just so that the guests don't need to look into the vast wilderness of absolute nothing, which I do not want to work on. So we're just going to have nice big walls right there. And they don't really take up too much. You know, it looks very natural. The machine is very humane. Xiao Hong Shu. Continue that up all the way over here. And we should be able to corner that. Cool. Your videos have always been inspiration, Evie. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy, bestie. Yeah, ZSU was so fun. I was able to meet so many fun people through ZSU. And I apologize that the series for ZSU kind of don't really happen anymore. But unfortunately, it's just ZSU. While it is so fun and so rewarding, oh my word, I do not have the time for that anymore. 1 second. Alright, I am back. Oh, I am not live on there. Okay, cool. Yeah, if only it hadn't gone so toxic. Yeah, tell me about it. That was not fun. Whatever. Like I said, like we were talking earlier, for some reason zoo communities, they're just very strange. Very strange people. Okay. I think I gotta get going now. But I think we were able to do a decent amount of progress in here. I mean, we did that huge exhibit right there, which is so crazy. But we still have a lot to do. I mean, I'm just gonna place down a few pieces, just to help line this area up a little bit more. But in the next episode or live stream or whatever, we will be working on kind of like fleshing out the rhino habitat. That's going to be fun. These animals are so damn loud. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, we will be working on kind of this little section over here, which should be easier. Yeah, this habitat compared to that one, this is going to be a breeze. But hopefully we can finish that. We can work on our little flamingo section right over here. Get this lake all looking good. I'm so proud of these. I'm sorry. We looked at it at the start of the stream, but these are just so nice. But yeah, we have a lot to do, and we have a lot of time to do it. I'm really in no rush, but we also got to do leopard tortoise education, probably like right around here. Rhinoceros. What did I choose for rhinoceros? I know it's elephant beetle, but rhinoceros something. It's not hornbill. That's an Indian rhino. But that's really it, my friends. I'm gonna end it there. We're gonna end right over here, looking at our lovely elephant habitat on what we were able to do. And I'm going to dip. So, that being said, have a great one. Thank you all for stopping by. Be sure to like the stream if you did enjoy it. And go check out the Atlantis episode that came out today, because I'm super proud of it. Yay. All right. Have a great one, guys. Thank you so much, and peace.